This time on Roadkill, it's a nitrous on my Super Bee.
Yeah, and we're rebuilding the Hemi in Blasphemy.
Over and over again. And we're both racing to win at Roadkill night. This is going to be the Freiburger versus Finnegan all Hemi showdown. That's because we both own cars that are powered by the legendary Mopar 426 Hemi. But mine is a 484 and his is 535 cubic inches. My car is a 1970 Dodge Super Bee that I've owned since I was 15 years old. In addition to that all-iron Hemi, I've got a Gearstar 727 transmission, a Gear Vendor's overdrive, and 373s in the Dana 60 from Strange out back, and the car weighs about 4,000 pounds. That means I probably don't stand a chance against Blasphemy, which is Finnegan's Gasser 55 Chevy with that 535 supercharged EFI Hemi. It's got an American Powertrain T56 in it and 430 gears out back, and that car only weighs about 3,100 pounds. So essentially, I stand no chance, right? Well, that's what we're here to find out, because I'm gonna stuff my car with nitrous for the first time. After we test both of our cars at the track, we're gonna be heading to our biggest event, Roadkill Nights in Pontiac, Michigan, powered by Dodge. This is the deal where we shut down Woodward Avenue for street racing, and Finnegan and I are gonna go heads up. So we're here at Milan Dragway, ready to do our test shots before Roadkill Nights, where we're gonna go race each other. The 55 with the Hemi in it versus the Super Bee with the Hemi in it. Both of us are really stoked on this, and we actually prepared. We've both been working on our cars, but we both went to load them on the trailer. Mine developed a misfire problem that comes and goes, and his apparently has a bunch of water in the oil.
It's probably puked the head gasket and has filled the engine full of water and made chocolate milk.
And so this has already gone roadkill, and we haven't even been down the track yet. But I think I'm gonna take that bullet. I'm gonna go first and find out just how bad my car is so we can decide what we're gonna work on first.
.67 at 117. That's not a bad pass for that car.
My hope today is to get into the 10s on nitrous. That's never gonna happen naturally aspirated. 1167?
Yeah, that looked pretty good.
Pretty much what's expected. That's good.
I didn't hear anything.
No, it ran fine.
Cool.
It's just slow. But the problem is the steering wheel's not straight and the tack stopped working, so I was going off the EFI screen and I couldn't see the tack on it. So I was just shifting blind. So I think I'd like to go one more time just to make sure everything's good, and then I'm okay going with my nitrous or helping you or whatever needs to happen.
Nice. All right. That's the quickest it's ever gone. 11:53 at 118. This isn't roadkill at all. 2 passes in a row all the way down the drag strip with no fire. Wow.
So I'm pretty stoked with that. That is the quickest this car's ever run with this camshaft and rear end combination. But the thing is, I shift into third just before the lights. The car doesn't have enough gear in it. It would like to have like a 410 or something, or maybe even a 456, and it's got a 373. But when we put the nitrous on it, that's gonna solve that problem. And because I'm all excited to do that, we're gonna skip starting to work on Finnegan's car. We're going straight to the nitrous right now, because we'd be much better off having my car broken and his car broken at the same time. I had the whole car actually set up for nitrous. I've just never run it because the car never really ran right before, and I was worried about putting nitrous on something that had a misfire problem. But now I've got that dialed in with the new ignition box, so I can finally use the stuff that's been on the car for like 4 years. All right, now that we have the nitrous actually functional, we're ready to open the bottle for the first time, which I'll do with the engine running to make sure the nitrous solenoid doesn't leak. And then I'll be ready to make a nitrous pass.
First nitrous hit. Oh, that looks faster. Oh, ready to go. Okay, it's trucking.
Okay, that was a lot faster. 12.8 to 1 all the way down the track. Perfect.
You just ran 10:53 at a $1.28.
Quickest pass ever for the car. And I short shifted it. It was 12.8 to 1 the whole way down the track. Well, I achieved my goals. Now the big question is, can we actually get Finnegan's car running?
There was a moment where I thought, oh, we're gonna be all right. It was just a plug wire not plugged in, but then I drained the oil, and we've drained out probably 8 or 9 quarts of brownish, milkiest looking substance. So I'm not convinced we haven't lost a head gasket here. So, want to hear it make noise?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
on all 8. What we just saw is a whole bunch of water spraying out of the header collector. And what that means is there's a bunch of water getting into a cylinder somewhere. This is bad. You want to pull the plugs and see if we can spot water on one of them?
Sure.
This is agony of defeat. Yeah, this day is over. So here's the question. We still have this drag strip rented for an hour and 20 minutes. If we start working on this, we're gonna blow all of that. Should I try and make another pass in my car, then we start working on this thing once the track is unrented.
Yeah, let's go be heroes in your car, get some beer, and take this apart tonight.
We got race fuel in it now. I put 2 more degrees of timing in it. And on that last pass, because we were having that difficulty with the controller, I had a little bit of a progressive ramp on the nitrous. Now I've got none. So should go a little bit quicker.
I am getting pumped up. This thing is leaving hard on the nitrous, but unfortunately, it's also spinning the tires and slowing me down. I'm gonna go back and mess with the progressive nitrous controller and try and get that right because I am on the edge of the quickest pass this car has ever made.
And it says 10:43 at 130. Still going the right direction. 130 miles an hour. First time ever for the Super B going 130.
Mr. Freiberger's having a good day.
I am stoked. Awesome day for me. A lot of firsts. Best ET ever at 10:43. Fastest mile an hour ever at 130, and my first wheel stand, both wheels about like this. So I am completely pumped, except for the fact that it is looking like, in fact, there is a blown head gasket or a cracked cylinder wall on Finnegan's car. And so what we're gonna do is come back here first thing tomorrow morning and start sorting through all that. We have 3 days now to get his junk running, and I don't think we're gonna run the Super B again until that happens or until we realize that there's just no hope. Well, if there was any doubt yesterday as to the problem with Finnegan's Hemi, it was removed when we woke up this morning, drained the oil out of it, and half the engine was full of water. So we're gonna tear the whole thing apart right now, and we're either gonna find a blown head gasket or something far worse than that. So ripping it apart starting now. You ready for the header to come off?
Sure. This is one of my favorite parts of the car, even if, you know, like you said, Ray Charles welded it with his feet.
Are you good?
Yeah. Channeling my inner Tony Angelo.
Yeah. This is really bad. Check it out. There's water and oil in the intake. Not a good sign. Lots of coolant in the lifter valley. Oh, what just happened? Did you drop something down the engine?
I pulled the lifter and the guts of it fell out down into the engine.
Oh!
It made it to the pan.
I can't believe we're taking an oil pan off now.
Because the wheel is still there. How did this is what happened. I lifted it up, it got about this far, and I heard it fall. How does it come out as I'm lifting it up and go down?
It's a solid lifter. Why does it have moving parts? Oh, that just added 4 hours. I have never seen anything like that. Straight up. Oh!
Okay.
I forgot about that.
Got to drain the block. Too late now.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's hitting the firewall.
I think if we get the gasket to sit back down, we can put that down.
So next up, we're gonna have to rotate the engine, move the piston down, and look in that cylinder and see if there's a crack in the block. There.
There it is.
Oh no, really?
The wall's cracked. When you wipe the coolant off, it just starts spraying back in there.
Oh man, no doubt the block is broken. Cherry picker?
Yep.
I think the only chance you have is find a machine shop that can put a sleeve in that hole. That's extra bad. Worst case scenario, just been realized.
Now we start calling people that know machine shops that maybe we can beg, borrow,
Copeland.
steal. Please get us in today. Hey, it's Finnegan. Can you call your machine shop, buddy? See if you can sleeve our block ASAP. There's a pinhole in number 7.
I'll try Steve Atwell. This turned out way worse than we thought. We do in fact have a hole in that cylinder. But the good news is that I called a buddy of mine in town, Steve Atwell, and he has a 528 all aluminum short block that all of our parts will bolt to. Finnegan's gonna buy it from him. Meanwhile, I'm working on getting the engine out of the car.
You ready? Yeah. We almost dropped it. We almost dropped the Hemi. If we were anywhere else in the world, this wouldn't happen.
No, that's pure luck.
Literally would not happen anywhere else in the world.
Everybody watching the show is gonna be like, okay, let me get this straight. You made one phone call and a buddy sold you a aluminum 528 short block.
Yeah.
Sure.
Only in Michigan.
I know.
Right? This doesn't feel real. Some alternate universe where all aluminum heavies just come out of nowhere with one phone call. I could live in this universe. I could be happy here.
Well, it turns out the drag strip wants to have an actual event here in a couple of hours, and so it's gonna be really loud and a lot of people and stuff, so we're gonna push the car instead down in front of the concessions area.
I'm just gonna be closer to the tacos and beer. It's fine.
Okay.
That's why car guys don't have to go to the gym.
Pushing cars.
Pushing cars.
There we go. Ta-da!
So this is a bronze bushing from American Powertrain. It adapts the rear of the Hemi crankshaft to a 4th gen Camaro pilot bearing, and our puller will not pull this out. And the old trick is to put grease in there, drive a piece of bar stock in, the grease hits the back of the bearing and forces it out. We don't have any grease. I'm gonna try bar soap. Irish Spring for my peeps. I got a socket. Look at that. You know that wouldn't have worked with Dove. Oh, it's beautiful.
The day's winding down here. They're gonna throw us out of here in 2 hours. We've got this Hemi pretty much stripped, so we're gonna get as far as we can, taking parts and cleaning them up and moving them onto the aluminum block. And then first thing in the morning, we'll be throwing the new engine in. Happy morning! I am enjoying assembling this thing on a picnic bench as much as I'm gonna enjoy watching it go $9.99 first thing tomorrow morning. Don't you think this is like one of the best times we've had in a long time?
There's no place I'd rather be. The only way this gets any better is if I had beer in my hands right now.
Yep. You didn't even bring up Dancing Girls, so I know you're having a good time.
I think I've retired the Dancing Girls.
No one puts together all aluminum Hemis on a picnic bench. That's what makes me great right now. Good. We got the bottom end all wrapped up so we can flip the thing over now. We're gonna put the clutch on and then we're gonna throw it in the car and do all the rest of the items later, right?
We're getting close.
I know.
I now announce you husband and wife.
Ruh-roh. Do you see what I see? Real bad. Okay, we just hit a major fail. The studs that go through the lifter valley, the boss is longer on the aluminum block and the stud doesn't stick out, so we can't get a nut on it. Did you notice how high we were and how far we fell?
I don't mind not sleeping. I don't, but this is, that's big.
That stops everything.
Yeah.
I'm putting in the distributor drive gear and realizing, wow, this cam has a whole lot of monkey motion in it. Realize the roller cam needs a cam button that controls fore and aft thrust, and this new setup doesn't have one, so it's all coming back apart. Boy, does that suck. Good stop. Yes, in. Yep, there we go. Woo! That was a hassle.
Look what I got, bolts. These are awesome. We can now take the heads off, except we can't take the heads off because we don't have the front motor plate on. And the front motor plate's not on because we don't have the timing cover on, and the timing cover's not on because we're missing the cam bushing, which is still 2 hours away from getting here. So we're gonna put wood under the oil pan, get the hoist out here, take the heads off, put the bolts in, put the heads back on. Maybe by then we'll have the other pieces we need to finish the front of the motor. And then, I don't know, spend the rest of the night putting it back together, making it run. Dude, this is happening.
I know.
All of the hurdles.
Don't. What?
All of the hurdles we've had have been challenging.
Quit it.
I didn't say we've overcome them all. I just said they were challenging.
They were. Well, it's daytime now. Last time I saw you, it was night and we were at the drag strip and we were gonna work all night long until the track needed to close and told us to move, and it took us an hour and a half to do that. And then we pooped out and we woke up at 5 o'clock this morning and started wrenching again and overcame a whole bunch of obstacles like what?
Broken bolts, missing bolts, bolts that we just didn't have. I mean, there were a lot of potential calamities that we have overcome today. And now we're to the point where we're putting the putting the intake, putting the blower on, like the fun part.
And then we will race it and it will go $9.99 and all will be well with the world. Boonk. That's what you needed. Oh man, this feels like we finally accomplished something. It's been back and forth for like 24 hours. Ow.
All right.
That hurt. It's installed though. That's all that matters to me right now. Oh, that looks much better.
Feels better too.
This is so 3 days ago.
It has been a thrash today, and I'm kind of at my wit's end. I just want this thing to run. But it turns out the problem was simple. The throttle blades were shut all the way. Turns out the adjustment on the idle just tweaked itself a little bit and kept the thing from running.
I know what it is.
What?
It's not getting any air.
Because?
Because the throttle blades are shut. This will just make it idle really fast, and then we'll idle it back down once we get it figured out.
So you're saying this is our moment?
Oh, I think we're close to it.
I believe nothing.
You know, the problem is it's EFI, so you don't ever like pump the gas to get it started, but if the throttle blades are shut completely, it won't run.
I would so like to have that feeling of overwhelming joy that, yeah!
I knew it's running, dude. Let's put a radiator on it and time it and actually run it. This is...
Okay, there you have it. The junk runs. You can't be serious.
Brake fluid, dude.
This is a definite because roadkill moment. He steps on the clutch. The clutch isn't disengaging, it won't go in gear. Great. You know how people are thrill seekers? We're agony seekers. We like to just go on that roller coaster of, it runs, it won't drive, it's fixed, it's not fast, no, it's fast, then it broke.
The only possibility is a clutch disc is backwards.
So we got in the car to try and just drive around the parking lot, and the clutch won't disengage, and it looks a whole lot like one of the discs in the triple disc clutch is installed backwards. So we're gonna be pulling the transmission out of the car right now. Right here?
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. It could be worse. We could be on fire.
So the curved side of that spring is touching the pressure plate like this, right? Not the dig in side.
Should be the dig inside.
It's backwards.
It's like 10 o'clock. We pulled the trans out of the car. It turns out I installed one of the 3 Mantic clutch discs backwards, and that was the problem. We fixed the clutch. Now we're trying to stab the trans back in. Sprinklers turned on here. That was great. I'm now wet, sweaty, homeless looking, and about to drive into a rainstorm on slick tires. It's gonna be a good night.
So that was a thrash, but finally we made it to Roadkill Nights, powered by Dodge. This event is enormous and super bitchin'. Basically, we shut down M1 Concourse in Pontiac, Michigan, and Woodward Avenue right out front. We've got drag racing on the street, a huge car show, and Dodge thrill rides where they put people in brand new Vipers and Hellcats and take them for the ride of their life, sideways with tires smoking. Dodge also set up this really cool celebrity showdown in brand new SRT Charger and Challenger Hellcats. It was going to be a bunch of hosts from Motor Trend and a couple of heroes from the NHRA. We had Top Fuel driver Leah Pritchett and funny car driver Matt Hagan. In the final, it ended up being Tony Angelo versus Matt Hagan. But it rained out, and so those guys were able to split Dodge's $10,000 prize that was going to be awarded to their favorite charity. Now it's down to me and Finnegan. We still have some wrenching to do before we can go head-to-head on Woodward Avenue.
So last night, we're ready to go. We fixed the trans, the engine runs. Right before we go to take off, we decided to check, the water level in the radiator, and this is what we found. Milkshake in a radiator. How do you even get motor oil in your radiator? I've never seen this, but that's a problem. And my guess is that the head gasket didn't fully seat, and we need to retorque our cylinder head, drop the fluids again, and I think it will be fixed, but even if it's not, I'm still racing.
So I'm pretty stoked we're actually gonna race. I'm gonna put some spark plugs in this thing and heat up a nitrous bottle, and that's probably just about it. I'm good to go.
Well, here's what we're thinking. The cylinder head on this side is not actually sitting flush on the block, so no amount of torquing the studs is gonna compress the gasket and seal it. And we had thought maybe we'll just run it without water for one pass, but if there's a gap between the head and the block, it could just turn it into a blowtorch and burn the block and the head, ruining everything. So under normal circumstances, Freiberger and I would not even attempt to R&R a cylinder head off of this thing right now at this event. There just isn't time. But Dulcich is here. Tony's here. Lucky's here. I've never been surrounded by this many qualified wrenches, so I see no reason why we can't fix this. So we're going to.
We need the smoking gun. So we think we found the problem. Probably the valley studs were not tight enough, because see how the gasket is transferred here and not here? And if you look at the gasket itself, you can tell that it is embossed like all of the passages on one side, but not on the other. So basically we're gonna have Tony gorilla the valley studs and solve it.
I need a towel.
Yeah, you do. That was like the worst injury we've ever had on Roadkill. Tony was tightening one of those bolts and it slipped. He punched Finnegan with the jack handle right in the eye and cut him open. But he's taken it well. As a matter of fact, he doesn't even want to stop. He's still lashing valves while dripping blood on his header.
Valves are lashed.
Unfortunately, we've got responsibilities at Roadkill Nights other than wrenching. We needed to split and go sign autographs for a whole bunch of fans, which is super cool, but it meant that we needed to leave Dulcich and David Newbern behind to wrap up the blasphemy for us.
So there's no water in it all. Are we running it without water right now? Is that the plan?
I think we gotta know.
That's what I mean. Like, put water in and then we'll flush it. We got water? It's dirty hand water, right?
Ready? You want me to just take out the oil pan drain plug so this can go straight to the ground?
I hate you. I hate you.
Is it the moment of truth?
It's gonna work.
It's gonna be perfect.
You ready?
Yes. I think we're good to go.
Dude, it's fixed.
It's fixed. Woo! Woo!
Let's go racing. Thank God. Here's the list of excuses. We just put the motor back together for like the third time. I have to race now. I have about 100 feet of alley that I can use to test my clutch, and that's it. I'm just going cold.
This is Roadkill ridiculous. Well, the clutch works. That was the last thing that we needed to know. We just changed the oil again, looked at it, it looks flawless, and he's gonna go break it in by driving it around the pits here for like, I don't know, 300 yards, and then it's gonna be wide open throttle racing.
First test was pretty good. The clutch works. The brakes are mushy now, which is strange. And when I tried to use the line lock, it melted. So I think the wire for the line lock might have got pinched in the bolts for the trans tunnel cover last night when we fixed the clutch in the dark.
Boy, we're having to work for this.
Dude, seriously. I have no idea what this wire goes to, but it's tagged into the line lock button. Let's put battery on and test the line lock again.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Go. No.
Okay, hold on. Nothing?
It's not doing anything.
Yeah, the line lock is dead. Whatever was going into it grounded out and melted, which means whatever this is going to, the fuse is blown. Heart's beating. Car's not right, but we're racing anyway.
Man, there's a lot of people here. We've been waiting on this for a long time. This is Roadkill Nights, biggest event we do every year. Last year we had 33,000 people. Gotta be about the same this time. Okay. This is only what we've been waiting for like a year plus. Finally get a chance to run our own cars at our own event. Never raced on an organized street like this before with like cones and lights and guardrails and McDonald's. Right there is a sign that says South Business 24, South 75. We're on Woodward Avenue. street racing, I hope.
Maybe behind this.
Hey, here we go. Burnout time. Putting on a show.
All right, good burnout.
I spun the tires pretty hard. He also treed me pretty bad. And I lost oil pressure decelerating. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to hit it with too much nitrous. I think he had a problem. Everything okay?
Yeah, I think it's fine. It just goes left
Oh, why'd you lift?
because I was gonna hit the wall.
Oh, okay. I figured out it's a pro tree, not a sportsman. I should probably go now.
Well, there's professionals here.
I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's embarrassing, isn't it? So, I guess I'll turn my nitrous bottle on now.
Okay. Some just fall off. Blower belt fell.
Oh, is it shredded?
No, but we thought we had a death rattle, and
No.
it was just the pulley moving.
Oh, good.
I was sitting there going, no.
Oh, good. So is it gonna be handled?
Yeah, they're running to go get the wrench right now.
It starts for real. Oh, that was interesting. You started to pass me and he lifted and then came back. Oh, that was pretty good. I got so sideways I had to get out of the nitrous for a second.
Oh, I had him.
Yeah! Oh, that was fun. I'm just glad his car's in one piece. That was awesome. That was a street race.
Wow.
That was full on, dude.
Wow.
How come you lifted?
I didn't lift.
Oh, really?
I missed third and put in fifth.
Oh,
You were done.
bummer.
You were done.
You were freight training me because,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
let's just go for the play-by-play.
You treed me?
I was so sideways, I had to get off the button and back on it, and then you drove past me, but then you fell on the face and I took the win.
You treed me and I was like, uh-oh. And then I drove past you. I was like, I got this. Fifth gear.
That was so street race. I loved it.
And it still runs.
And they both still run.
Still run.
And look at the crowd.
That's bigger than last year.
And
That's really hot.
this is Roadkill Nights. We raced our own cars, and in a certain way, we
Roadkill win.
both won.
Roadkill won something here. Finally.
That's a BAM.
I love this episode, and not only because I got my car to run quicker than ever, but because I had a great time rebuilding a Hemi on a picnic bench on Finnegan's 55. It felt just like hot rodding in the 60s. And then we got to go street racing at our epic event, Roadkill Nights in Pontiac, Michigan, in front of 40,000 people. And we went racing, and I won. That's not really the point, but yes it is, I won. And that's important because after we wrapped filming, Finnegan finally got Blast Me to run in the 940s. Will I ever make my car that quick? Will we ever go head to head again? If we do, you'll see it on a future episode of Roadkill. Support companies that support Roadkill. Buy your speed parts at jegs.com.
Oh no, we made a bunch of mistakes over and over and again. We had to, because it's Roadkill Nights powered by Dodge with the Hemi on Hemi shootout. That was perfect.